Before we dive into this video here today, I want to thank you all for being patient with me again with my setup. You all know I have recently moved, just dabbling with this setup, kind of playing with it here and there. I really like the little Christmas theme we got going on, but as you can see, we still got some echo in the room. I'm still working on eliminating that and everything. But funny side story here, besides my setup, talking about me moving, hence the reason I'm sitting down in a chair today. Last night I went out to adjust the cameras, the Ring cameras and everything. I step off my porch, bam, my ankle, and all I hear is pop. I said, son of a gun. Can this get any more crazy as far as moving into this new house? So again, disregard my complete setup, but why I'm sitting down today is because my ankle hurts like a son of a gun. But anyways, enough of my daily life update here. What I want to talk about today is something I have preached so many times, and I tend to get a lot of slack from it. That is when I say I hate custom keyboards. And honestly, if I hold up for a second, I gotta take a deep breath, step back a little bit. It's not that I hate them, and I probably just word it a little wrong. It's that I dislike the process. We've already discussed the community, and I think that's gotten a lot better over time. It used to be filled with snobs. Now they let a lot more people in, but still, it's the process, right? I don't want to get switches. I don't want to lube them. I don't want to swap them. I don't want to do this and that. I want a good quality board out of the box and then get to gaming. And I really think we're starting to see that these days. And the prime example is going to be these keyboards we're going to talk about from Higround and 100 Thieves. And that is the Summit 65 and the Base 65. As you see in your box, both of them come with braided detachable USB-C cables. On your base one, you get a basic chintzy switch puller because both of these boards are hot swap. You get a keycap puller. Coming over here to the Summit, you can see you get some higher end tools. You get one of those really nice switch pullers and then a little jazzier keycap puller. And then you get this nice little cardboard manual because everything can be adjusted and saved right on the keyboard. I absolutely love it. No software needed. So obviously just going by the names of them here, the base one is going to be your more entry level, your cheaper board, and then the Summit's going to be the more expensive one, coming in at $290, and then the base coming in at $145. But trust me, don't let that price difference or the name difference discourage you. You're going to want to stick around for this. Let's go and take a look at the specs of the base one here. As you see, it does have that plastic frame, PBT die sub keycaps, 5-pin PCB. It does have clip-in stabs. Guys, really, these switches are just absolutely amazing, which you're going to listen to soon. It has double layer dampening. It is just packing a lot. Now, when we take a look at the specs on the Summit, you can tell it's more or less that custom vibe, right? You got that heavy-duty aluminum frame. You still have 5-pin hot swap PCB. You got the dampening. It is gasket mounted. So again, you're kind of catching that vibe more custom. Now, when we dive even deeper into this one, what I want to show you where you're really getting jazzy is take a look at these switches here. Not even sure the camera can pick this up. Focus. Look at that artwork on the switches. They're stating they're the first ones to do this, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous. So again, you got the PCB that matches the keycap here, then you got the switches that match it and all. Now let's go and take a look at the weight difference of both boards. Let's go on and slap the baseboard. Again, it has the plastic frame on it here. We're getting 1 pound, 11 ounces. And then if we go over to the Summit, this heavy duty one, we're getting 3 pounds, just about 4 ounces. So just putting them in your hand and feeling them here and looking them over, yeah, the Summit is their top of the line keyboard along with that price tag. It is more of that true custom vibe. Not saying, we've seen the lights, the KBD fans light, the novel keys, their lights and stuff. That's what you can compare this to. But even compared to any of those other ones, which I've used all of them, this one is just phenomenal. It's the combination of the dampening, the case, the keycaps, the switches. Now, there are significant differences with the stabs on both of these keyboards, but they both sound amazing, which you'll hear here shortly. But anyways, on the Summit, you have screw-in stabs. They're in there really nice and solid. Now, one thing I will tell you, if we pop it out, I doubt my camera can pick it up, but you can see there is a significant amount of lube right down there on the stem into the stab. But on the housing, there is none. And that is something I really like, because I've done plenty of custom keyboards before, lubed my stab and the stem and all that stuff, and then the switch just feels really slow as far as that stab. So I really like that there's no lube on it, it's just actually in the stem rather than the housing, so each key feels consistent across the board. Now let's go and take a look at the base keyboard. And by the way, yes, my spacebar is upside down. I always flip my space bars upside down because it's much more cozy on the thumb. Try it before you knock it. I do it in every single video, and everyone's always asking, well, look at that. I just pulled out a switch right along it. But anyways, taking a look at the stabs, on the bass one. They are clipping, and holy smokes, they are dancy. They're moving all around right here. Very easy Band-Aid mod to do right there. But again, even when you listen to it, you really can't hear that rattle within it. So after listening to both of those boards, we have to admit they both sound phenomenal. And that's just scratching the surface, right? When you actually feel them and you get to typing on them, it's like, wow, it is so stinking nice. Now, like I stated in the beginning, how I told you, you're going to want to stick through this. Number one, you saw what they're both packing, right? But again, as far as gaming, me personally, I don't like my keyboards going too custom, right? And that's when we take a look at this guy here being that gasket mounted. I have a few other gasket mount keyboards, and I just don't like it because when you press down, you feel that slight flex right there. That's horrible for gaming, in my opinion, right? Because you want that quick actuation. We got optical switches, we got these speed switches, right? Which we got fast switches in here. But once you start getting that flex, well, that's another little bounce right there. That's just adding more time to it, right? We're all about this latency, these milliseconds, this, that, or the other. Well, when you're flexing on a gasket mount keyboard, that's just going to add more time for you to bounce back up. Now, going right along with typing, other than the sound and the feel, we got to address these keycaps, right? I think they look cool. The black, white, and red, like, come on, it just screams Techne. It looks stinking awesome. But holy smokes, it is horrible to type on. You know what I mean? If you're just like, oh wait, hold on, where's that one key right there? You can't see the legends on this whatsoever. Not even with the RGB on. Same with this one over here. You can see them a little bit better over here, but very minimal. They're very busy keycaps. I wish they sold like maybe a solid white one, just a little toned down a little bit more, or some way, maybe if the legend was on top. I don't know. Something just to make it easier to use and maybe not so dang busy. And as far as RGB, as you see on the Summit here, very nice and bright, nice and subtle, not really blazing through the keycaps or anything like that. You get that nice undertone. And as you're seeing, you also have that side glow right there. If I flip it over, you'll see it on each end. It's on both sides right there. And again, you can adjust everything right on the board. Going right back to the legends, though, as you see, the RGB is not shining through the legends. It's just in there. So again, it's kind of hard to see them. But again, the RGB is very crisp, very smooth. Let's go and plug it into the bass right here. I don't want to sound like a picky pants or like I'm complaining a whole lot, but one other thing I would have liked is the USB-C port to be on the left side of the keyboard. Maybe that's just me. Again, for the right-handed, left-handers, that might be a little bit different, but just something I would prefer. Anyways, here we go on the baseboard. As you see, I got mine set to white, so you got the black, red, and white. Shines a little bit through that case. You can kind of see the underglow right there, little Higround logo, and actually numbered right here. I got number 64, and I just like how the lights just kind of shine through it a little bit. It's very nice and not too crazy. Probably looks a little crazier in the camera, but very nice, crispy RGB. And again, this brings me right back to the beginning of the video where I said, you're gonna wanna hold out and really hear me out on these keyboards. Cause just looking specs, listening to them, looking the aesthetics and all that, me personally, I'd recommend the bass. Yeah, this is their premium keyboard. This is the higher end one, and we gotta admit, yeah, it is the better keyboard, but what makes it the better keyboard? Do you want gasket mounted? Do you want to spend $290? Do you want that aluminum case? I think for most of us gamers, if we want something just fun, just to get out there and play with, I think the base one's gonna do it, and it is a solid product. And coming in at $145, I think it's a passable price too, and I really like the offering over here. This is more or less the enthusiast side or the really big 100 Thieves fan or something like that. But me personally, I love and I recommend the base one all day long. So as you saw through this video, it's not that I hate custom keyboards. It's that I don't like doing all the process on it. You know what I mean? I like a quality product right out of the gate. And that's what you got right here from 100 Thieves and Higround. It's like, I love riding motorcycles. I don't want to go build my own and go ride it. I want to go buy one from a store and go ride it. I want to open up a great keyboard and start gaming.